I'd like to join your posse, boys, but first I'm gonna sing a little song.
J Squad.
Course it's time for Woody's Roundup. He's the very best. He's the rootinest, tootinest cowboy in the Wild Wild West. That guy's go running whenever he's in town. He's the rootinest, tootinest, shootinest, hootinest cowboy around. Woody's Roundup, right here every day. Woody's Roundup, come on, it's time to play. There's Jesse the Old Cowboy. Bullseye, he's Woody's horse. He's a smart one. He's the old prospector, and Woody the man himself. Of course, it's time for Woody's Roundup. He's the very best. He's the rootinest, tootinest cowboy in the Wild Wild West. That guy's go running whenever he's in town. He's the rootinest, tootinest, shootinest, hootinest cowboy around. Woody's Roundup, right here every day. Woody's Roundup, come on, it's time to play. There's Jesse the Old Cowboy. Bullseye, he's Woody's horse. He's a smart one. He's the old prospector, and Woody the man himself. Of course, it's time for Woody's Roundup. He's the very best. He's the rootinest, tootinest cowboy in the Wild Wild West. That guy's go running whenever he's in town. He's the rootinest, tootinest, shootinest, hootinest cowboy around. Woody's Roundup.
Okay. Hey, chat. Hope y'all are doing good. Hope everything's been good with y'all. Where to begin? Where the fuck to begin? All right. I guess we'll answer this question real quick. I have no clue how to say your name, Uretma. I'm just gonna call you Rife. We're gonna call you Rife. So I have no clue how to say your fucking name. There was a picture I had here that was supposed to be up in the top corner. I don't know where that went, but whatever. Point being, yeah. So I had a feeling about what was it? Let me see. Can I find the exact spot? Because I did bookmark it here. We can't show that. Can't show that part of my Twitter. Okay. Let's see. Where is the display capture here? Thank you, King of Pop Music fan channel. I appreciate you, and I appreciate you for being here. I don't actually like to really talk about politics too much, but I do kind of have... I just wanted to give my little 2 cents on this. I like Rife's little joke here in the chat anyone's seeing. He said, you know, oh, I learned so much about politics. I'm so smart, dog. I like that. I like the little joke, because he's not wrong. I mean, that essentially is what I'm going to say. It's very similar to what I'm going to say. God damn, there's a lot of you motherfuckers more than usual, honestly. This is a little overwhelming. That's cool, though. Yeah, but I have to admit, I'm not a very intelligent guy when it comes to politics. I'm not doing the most research. But I just kind of had a feeling a while back, not too far back, but I think we have this picture here. Where's window capture? Okay. First off, let's change this to, can I change? Okay. I have to go to properties here, and we have to go to, okay, that actually is what I put. All right. Does that have everything? I think that's fine. Okay. Yeah. So about a week ago, was this about a week ago? Something like that. Back in October, at the very least, late October, I just had a good feeling with the marketing that was going on with Trump that he was going to win. And, you know, there are a lot of factors from people far more intelligent than me that probably do come into play as well as to why Kamala lost, why the Democratic Party essentially lost. Let's get this stupid stream will be starting soon thing off. But there are probably a lot of people who could give good reasons that I am not intelligent enough to be aware of or to explain or to even understand. So, you know, if anyone wants to give their little take in the chat, if someone wants to make a response or someone wants to do their video, go for it. This is just literally from a very ignorant motherfucker's perspective, what I think was the biggest factor for why Kamala lost. And it's not necessarily that Kamala is a terrible candidate, is my argument. There was some truth to what Rife was saying, but that's not my entire argument. My main thing is just, well, let's get into it. Let's ask ourselves, instead of me just telling you, let's ask ourselves, chat, what do you think might have been the reason? What do you think played a part in Kamala losing the election? You know, do you think some people say it's, you know, dislike of women, racism, you know, any sort of buzzwords, homophobia, transphobia, things like that. And I think those play a factor. I don't think those should be thrown out. There definitely are people who are older who think, there are definitely people who are older who think, no, a woman should not be president. That is a thing. Both men and women, especially in the like 40-year-old and older camp, they do think like that. So I don't think that's something that can be ignored. But I think there's other things too, and I think it comes down to simple marketing. But again, you know, why? What could have gone wrong? Maybe this. Let's go with this. Maybe it could have been this. This was like 3 years. When was this aired, or when did this come out? March 19th, 2021. So if I recall correctly, shortly after he became president, we got this. I'm going to just mute this just in case. Or we'll keep the volume down, but this is our new president. He just got in office. He's going up some stairs. Oh, and there he goes. Oh shit, he fell again. Oh, wow. He's not doing well, is he? This man cannot handle some stairs. He fell 3 times. And, you know, whatever, people trip. That could have been a thing, but it just didn't look good. It didn't look good. And the honest truth was, you know, Biden, a lot of people had concerns about his health before the election. If I recall correctly, a lot of people had their concerns at this time, even before he got into office. So hearing a lot of, you know, when we started to get closer to election season for this year, I just knew this problem was going to be worse. It was going to get worse and worse over time. I'm sorry. I mean, she did very rarely campaign and hid from every interviewer except for 1 or 2. Given her background, she's not really a good person in the courtroom. Honestly, all that shit, again, I don't know how much that's even going to be relevant to what I'm talking about here. So I'm really just trying to approach it from a very ignorant person's standpoint, because my honest opinion is you have to appeal to a very ignorant motherfucker if you want to get the most votes. You have to be able to market your position, your new bills you're trying to pass or whatever, the changes you're trying to make to the country. You have to be able to market that to the dumbest motherfuckers possible if you want to win an election. That's just the honest truth. You have to be able to condense that shit down to that point. And it just felt like, from my perspective, from somebody who wasn't keeping up with things very well, the marketing wasn't great. I didn't hear a lot about Kamala, but I heard plenty about Trump. So it just usually, yeah, again, maybe I could do my research, I'd find out other things, but that's not really the mentality you want to go into when you're trying to get voters. You don't want to say, well, hey, if you did your research, you would know that I'm the better candidate, you fucking moron. If you fucking took time out of your day-to-day life where you're struggling with bills and shit and did some fucking research into what was important to me, you know I'm the better candidate. That doesn't go over too well. People don't like that. So yeah, you kind of have to appeal to ignorant people who don't know anything. And you have to be able to explain your ideas to them in a very simplistic manner to help get them to appeal. And there just wasn't a whole lot I was hearing from Kamala, if I remember correctly. Let's go more into this because I think I'm getting a little ahead of myself. But like I said, so we had this right here. This was 2021. He just got in. This was 2022, a year after this happens. God damn it. Why is everything so loud? Did we miss it? Hold on. Let me rewind it. Sorry, I was messing with volume. As Bo Zarman shakes hands. Yeah, right here. Now, again, some stuff like this you can maybe look at and say, okay, well, he maybe was just like doing some pose or something. That wasn't a wave.
Once again, we're seeing the pride that comes from stamping a product made in America. Companies are choosing to build a new factory. When just a few years ago, as you all know, that wouldn't have been the case. They would have built the factory overseas. God bless you all.
I mean, it's not even, I mean, this news thing isn't even saying, like, that it could have been something else. Not even really giving a defense. It's just saying, like, yeah, this was a weird gaffe. Like, we have to admit. And the other thing is, too, I'm not going to play these, but there's just so many of these compilations of just him messing up. And we knew for the longest time that he was dealing with mental issues, that he was getting too old. And the Democratic Party lied to themselves. Both the people as a part of the party and the followers. They lied. The people who support like hardcore Democrats, Democrat or nothing or whatever, they lied to themselves. I've talked with people and they try to say, no, everything's going to be fine. He's going to be great during the debate. He's going to be fine. And then what do we get? We got this shit. We got this shit, which I don't even know if I can play this, but we're going to.
And please welcome the 45th President of the United States.
Yeah, this is kind of off the cuff if you can't tell, so we're going to try to keep it moving. 5 key moments. Okay.
Child care, elder care, making sure that we continue to support.
Okay, yeah, this is kind of what we feared too.
We're able to make
losing
every
focus.
Single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the with the COVID. Excuse me, with dealing with everything we have to do with. Look.
This just looks stupid. Trump's face right here. Hold on, is this the moment I think it is? I have to see if it is.
Medicare. I went to the World War II cemetery, World War I cemetery he refused to go to. He was standing with his 4-star general, and he told him, "It was not a sucker. You're the sucker. You're the loser."
Well, I took 2 tests, cognitive tests. I aced them, both of them,
that
as you
doesn't
know.
mean shit.
We made it public. He took none.
Okay, that's not what
Quite
I'm
smart,
getting at.
And you have to be able
I don't
to
really
hit the
care
ball
about,
a long way.
they're having
Look,
petty
I'd be
little
happy to have
arguments,
driving
insulting each
contest
other.
now. I got my handicap, which when I was vice president, down to a 6.
This was a really dumb thing.
But by the way, I told you before, I'm happy to play golf with you if you carry your own bag.
Biden can barely
The
speak.
crimes that you are still charged with. And think of all the civil penalties you have. How many billions of dollars do you owe in civil penalties?
He can't
molesting a woman in
speak
public,
cohesively.
for
I don't know if
doing
it's
a
the
whole
mic
range
gain
of
isn't up or
having
anything,
sex
but I
with a
can
porn
barely
star
hear him.
on the night while your wife was pregnant. I mean, what are you talking about? You have the morals of an alley cat.
We are
The
very,
morals
very
of an
close
alley
to
cat
World
is a
War
new
III,
one.
and he's driving us there. And Kim
Okay.
Jong-un.
I was hoping it was going to show it, but it doesn't seem like it's trying to. But this whole thing was a mess. Pretty much everyone's takeaway from this debate was that it was a mess. And the main thing to me, the moment I knew, before I even made that tweet, that Trump was going to win this, was the moment that Biden said some shit and Trump just said, let me see if I can find it. The moment this happened. Can you not be an asshole? I can show here.
I've changed it in a way that now you're in a situation where there are 40% fewer people coming across the border illegally. That's better than when he left office. And I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to
Okay, so
what
this
we're gonna
was
do
the
with
part. They
more
just took it
border
off.
patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either. Look,
That he won right there. That's like a slam dunk response, basically. He looked like an idiot and he said, yeah, I don't know what he said. I don't think he knows either. And everyone felt he said exactly what everyone was thinking in that moment. And I just knew we were done. We were absolutely fucked. But if that's not, you might be thinking, well, what does this necessarily have to do with Kamala? Because Kamala, it's really not about her as a candidate. Because my honest opinion, you disagree with me, but if she had ran in the beginning, if before the whole election was coming, Biden had stepped down and said, I am not mentally capable to run in another 4 years. I'm handing this off to Kamala, or we're doing a primary thing or something like that, and she ran. I think there's a possibility she could have won because she could have had more time to prepare and come up with, a campaign, basically, something unique to her, a better marketing campaign. But instead, what did the we all kind of knew that was the right thing to do back then. Even as it was coming, we were like, man, Biden's not doing well. Grandpa Joe is not doing well. What was that?
I was going to put him.
What did he say?
America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. I was going to put him.
Yeah, hey, King Falcor. Thanks for being here, man. Yeah, I do. I hope you've been good, man. Sorry, it's not the usual thing. Again, I don't really get into politics too much, and we might have this come out and people say like, "Oh, he actually doesn't really know much." You're not wrong, but I just kind of felt like my gut told me Trump was going to win. My reasons are pretty much all I'm giving in this video. I just didn't say it at the time, but I kind of wanted to say it now to see. Yeah, I feel like I was right. But yeah, we saw that Biden was having these issues. We knew this was a problem. And instead of just doing the smart thing, having him step down, having her step up, giving her enough time to keep her campaign going, or start it much earlier on, I think she could have won. I think she could have won a lot more. She didn't have a lot of time, though. And the other thing is, too, was Biden, as well as the Democratic Party in general, lying and saying, oh, yeah, everything's going to be fine, guys. Everything's going to be fine. Everything's going to be good. Biden's going to do great. We're going to win against Trump. It's going to be fine. Like, so many people, we knew that he clearly wasn't. People who don't necessarily have a foot in the race, or really Republicans, and people who just aren't Republican or left-leaning, basically, who don't necessarily identify. Like, we could all see the writing on the wall. And it seemed like Democrats were just trying to lie and gaslight and say, no, that's not, everything's fine, everything's good. And then eventually what ended up happening? The debate happened. Joe looked like an idiot. And then after that debate, do we even have anything? Because if we have that one thing, I need it. I need it. Do we have, what is the big boy speech? Do I have that? I'm not going through that. What's the clip of him, Biden? Listen to him. Because I think this was right here. Oh, yeah, he called him a vice president. Let's remember that. Let's see this. Look at the mania. Listen to the mania.
Earlier you misspoke in your opening answer. You referred to Vice President Harris as Vice President Trump. Right now, Donald Trump is using that to mock your age and your memory. How do you combat that criticism from tonight?
Listen to him.
This concludes tonight's...
That was the worst response you could have given. So, like, he fucked up the debate. He tries to give a press conference to show, I'm fine, guys. Everything's good. I promise we're going to beat Trump. It's going to be fine. And then he gets up there. He fucks up multiple times live on air. And then as he's leaving, he won't take any more questions because he knows he can't even do that right. They ask him one thing that he really shouldn't have, but of course he speaks, and in his response, they're like, Trump said you're fucking stupid and old and dying and shouldn't be president. You're not fit anymore. What's your response to that? Listen to him. Not even the tone of it. Like, I think he was trying to say, like, well, listen to what he says. Do you think he's fit to be president? And, like, that would work if you two were kind of closer to your fucking, old age ruining your mental state. At least that's, easily seeable by most people, again, who are very ignorant and don't keep up with this shit. But you don't have to keep up with a lot of this shit to see, all this stuff that happened. And then after this, again, everyone was very worried. So finally, he did what he should have done. And, I don't know, I should have got a picture or something. We're going to put this back up for the time being while I try to get something. But yeah, so we knew that there was some issues with Biden. We knew he was, too old to run. But we tried to lie to ourselves and say, no, Biden's going to be fine. Everything's going to be good. Everything's going to be cool, guys. And then the Democrats as a whole, got embarrassed on national television. And they tried to save face. They tried to fix it and be like, okay, no, we'll do the right thing now. We'll do the smart thing now. Now we got Kamala running for president. And I feel like, and maybe I'm wrong, but that didn't give her enough time to actually give a good campaign. Everything felt like it was just working off of what Biden was doing and trying to fix that. And it's not necessarily that, she's this terrible candidate and I know all this shit about her that makes her such a terrible person and that's why I think she failed. It's really not about that. It's just, I don't think she had enough time. I don't think she had enough preparation. I think she had to pick up where someone else left off and the party was already looking fucking sad at that point. This was just sad. The party looked like a fucking joke at that point. And then on top of that, let me put this up here real quick. Actually, no, we're going to keep this here because I got to look something else up. But so we get Kamala and she has to do like catch up, essentially trying to get people to support her. She has to tell people like, this is why you need to vote for me now. This is why you should vote for me. And with the limited amount of time she had, I think that unfortunately kind of put her in a position where she had to make some quick marketing gimmicks, like some, like just things that, business people will try to do every now and then. Like, oh, this will work. This sounds like a quick way to get a lot of, in this case, votes. But this, normally would be like income or something, get a lot of money. This seems like a good way. And what did she do? Let me find it here. I'm trying to find, I have it. I have bookmarks here. I literally bookmarked all my shit so I could find it. I don't know. Oh, not all my bookmarks. That's why. I'm a dumbass. I am very much a dumbass. Again, reiterating that. I don't know everything. So, there's probably going to be some stuff off here. If you want to correct it, that's fine. Feel free to do that. But let's find this real quick. This was one of the things that, to me, also did not help Kamala's election. You could probably hear what I'm about to play. Let me take a drink here real quick. Gather my thoughts. Okay, I got the video ready. Let me grab this image here real quick. Again, so we have something a little different to look at. Motherfucker. Oh, I have to do it this way. Okay. Get down here. That'll do. That'll do for now. And then, boom. There's literally a campaign ad of Trump just dancing on the screen. Yeah, no. I mean, I would too. Honestly. If I won, I would be a complete asshole about it too. Because, I mean, it's not like the Democrats didn't do that when Biden won. I'm not, trashing anybody. I think that's just kind of what happens in politics now. You know, the moment you win, you get to sit there and feel good about yourself. Yeah, our team won, and let's laugh at the other team. At least, again, if you're on this sort of left-right, Democrat, Republican like dichotomy, if you're in this, that's just kind of how it goes. But my point being, so she had to pick up where Biden left off, and Biden and the entire campaign, including her, trying to defend Biden and say he's doing fine, he'll be great, this country's going to be going great, did not make the party look good. It's to a point where it doesn't even really matter your policies. It just doesn't look good. You all look like clowns because you tried to put this old man out here and lie to us and say he's going to be fine. And then when it didn't work, you tried to save face and switch to somebody else. And it was just a little too late at that point, in my opinion. And then she just didn't do anything. And I'm not saying it's her in general. I don't think she was in control of everything. I think a lot of it had to be, I guess, her campaign team thinking like, oh, okay, this is going to be the girl power vote or something like that. We need to get all these celebrities to endorse you. Let me make double sure before I fucking put this video up here, because I want to make sure that nothing, my Twitter is not necessarily for kids or safe for work in the slightest. So I got to be very careful going on here, being transparent. So here's where we're going to go. This is the other thing to me that just kind of secured. This is one of the things that should have never happened. And I'm going to go into why. I'm going to mute this because I'm almost certain I'll get some type of copyright thing. So we got Megan Thee Stallion here doing a little concert for her. She's not really speaking in any way. She starts twerking. Now, I want you to know that I think pearl clutching is fucking stupid. And I think getting upset about her twerking at this, I guess, public government event, whatever, I don't care. I really don't. This is Megan Thee Stallion. That's what she does. If you get her, you should expect her to do what she always does. I don't know why, So, to me, I just don't necessarily, I don't have an issue. It's really high, centered on that. I'm sorry. That was embarrassing. Sorry, back to point. I do like Megan Thee Stallion. I think she's a good rapper. I don't listen to like all her albums, but usually when she puts out a single, I give it a listen and it's pretty good. And I think she's a decent lyricist from what I heard. I like her stuff. But again, it's not pearl clutching, and I want to explain that. I don't care about how appropriate this is or not. I don't care about, whether this should be something in a government, election. Not government election. You get my point. If this should be part of the election, whether it's okay to do in any way for like moral reasons. Yeah, Megan Thee Stallion mentioned. I don't really care about whether this is appropriate or not. That's not really my point. All I want to get at is this is fucking cringe. Getting a rapper on there the moment you are the new, person running for the Democratic campaign and you're trying to take up for Biden and just being like, yeah, I'm the new face, guys. Here we got Megan Thee Stallion here to do a concert. And it's like, what does this mean? What does this do for anybody? You have Megan Thee Stallion supporting you. Okay. What does that mean? Why should I care? I feel like personally, every person who is really okay, I'm probably gonna get some shit for this. I feel like every woman should be a little insulted by this because Republicans do similar shit, but it's really annoying when the pandering is just so fucking blatant because that's whenever a fucking politician gets celebrities like this, that's what all they're basically doing is saying, hey, let's dangle some keys in front of these idiots' faces. Hey, you like this artist, right? You like Megan Thee Stallion? You like Eminem? You like Cardi B? You like all these people? Look, they're supporting us. You guys should support us too, because you don't think for yourselves. You don't have any of your own fucking opinion or think like, what does Megan Thee Stallion or Cardi B have diddly dick to do with politics? This was just fucking cringe. It's not gross, not inappropriate. I don't care about any of that shit. I'm putting this away. I don't give a fuck about its appropriateness or, whether it's for, it's just seemed like a desperate ploy to pander to young audiences. Yeah, I don't really care. I keep saying that. I'm sorry. It's not like a broken record. But yeah, I just don't give a shit about that. I don't care if it's appropriate or whatever. I think it's cringe to pearl clutch in general. But to do this as well is also cringe. It's just like, this is the most obvious pandering I've ever seen. And then on top of that, it essentially seemed to be like it was trying, if my timeline is correct here, maybe my memory's a bit off, but it seemed like this was essentially just the response to the Trump or the RNC convention or whatever, when Kid Rock came up and did a show and Hulk Hogan was there, and I think there were some other celebrities I can't remember. But, that, to be dead honest, I saw that. I watched Deep Fat Fried cover that, and it was a good show. That's simply the best way I could put it. It was a good show. But the thing is that the honest truth, when Trump's a celebrity endorsement, people believe that shit. Like, especially with how much Trump is hated and how many people just don't like Trump in such a public and open, disgusted way. There's a lot of people who will not, a lot of people who will not, God damn it, I lost my track of thought because I was looking at the chat. Sorry, give me 1 second. Welcome back, thank you. She had a good cause too, but her campaigning was just kind of lackluster. Again, I don't really like saying her campaigning. I don't think it was her. I think it was a lot of people behind the scenes saying, this is what you got to do. And so much of this just seemed like very cookie cutter, what you expect from a politician. And again, anytime they get these celebrities out here and they do this, they're basically saying, hey, you guys like Megan Thee Stallion, right? You'll do whatever she says. She likes Kamala. You're going to support Kamala because she said it, right? Like, that's what they basically are hoping for. That's what they expect. That's how little how lowly they think of you. I would like it to be known, because I meant to mention this actually in the beginning, but I lost track because I didn't have a script. I didn't want a script. I wanted it to be completely off cuff. In case anyone feels like I'm like secretly a Trump grifter or some anti-Kamala person or something, I want it to be known I voted for Kamala. I went to my local voting area. It wasn't that far. That's what I realized. Oh shit, it was like a 5-minute walk away on November 5th. So I said, yeah, why not? Because truth be told, all things considered, the one thing, and again, this is why you have to appeal to very ignorant motherfuckers, or you have to at least, not only do you have to appeal to very ignorant motherfuckers, but you have to, take a breath. You have to come with new radical things. You have to you have to stand out and appeal to a new audience, essentially. You have to appeal to people with views that are not necessarily getting pushed by any other politician if you really want to get people's attention. And the thing that made me vote for Kamala wasn't, I'm voting against Trump. It was her saying she was going to make the devil's lettuce federally legal. And I heard through the grapevine, it wasn't a whole lot of research, but this is a very big issue to me, that she was going to do something about all the people locked up over, the devil's lettuce charges, we'll say. And I'm not the most well-versed in politics, but if there was ever a thing that was going to get me to vote for a politician, it would be that. I felt like at the time, again, because since she was just picking up where Biden left off, I felt like at the time it was just a move of desperation, but at the same time, it was enough to get me to vote for her. It was enough to get me to care and vote for her. The point being is it's not like I'm a secret Trump supporter and I secretly hate Kamala or I would never vote for a woman or something like that. I did. I voted for her. And I think I live in Maryland. I know I live in Maryland, but what I'm trying to say is I live in Maryland, and I think Maryland is pretty much a pretty blue state. I could be wrong. There's definitely some more red parts of it, but it was one of the states that went blue or was blue this year. Fuck was I getting at? Yeah. Since Kamala had to pick up from where Biden left off, the whole, I will, make devil's lettuce legal on the federal level it just came off like a desperate move. It just came off like, everything kind of came off as pandering. There wasn't much she could do. And as I was saying with the whole celebrities thing, with Trump, first off, Trump has been in Hollywood a very long time. So he's already known a lot of celebrities. He's already made a lot of celebrity friends. And two, with how Trump is hated, when Trump gets a celebrity to endorse him, to come to his show, whether they actually do or not is kind of irrelevant. I, as well as many others, believe that shit because it seems very real. They seem like they're very genuine. And the other thing is, too, again, it's not Kamala's fault, but Trump's fan base, his following, they believe in him. Like when he says some shit, regardless of whether you or I know it's going to happen, it's going to be real or not, whatever, they believe in him. They believe the shit he says. They are behind him. They have faith in him. And that belief, that faith is what pushed them to vote. That's how you get people like that to vote. You can't just say, we're not this guy, we need to take him down. You have to get people's attention on you. You can't just play a good guy contest and point the finger and say, well, I don't do this, I don't do that, and I don't do all these things this person does, so I'm automatically the good person by default. No, you have to show with some sort of action that you are the good one. And again, there's probably some things some people could point that would show that Kamala was the good one. But to very ignorant people, and the majority of people, it didn't seem like there was. And you really have to be good at marketing to try to convince people that you are. Again, let me take a little drink here real quick. Every one of these celebrities that endorsed Trump, I think, genuinely believed in him, as well as his supporters. Whereas all the people who voted for Kamala are a lot of the same people who voted for Biden for the same reason. We don't want Trump. We don't want him. So we'd rather stick with what we have. And I think, honestly, that just isn't enough to motivate people to vote. If you truly want to keep the Republican Party out of politics, like completely, basically, if you want it to always be Democrats winning, you really do. You can't just get that's better than the Republican Party. You have to get a new candidate who has some wild ideas that people haven't thought of before, that really gets attention. And you also, again, you have to be good at marketing. One thing I would have easily gone on, again, it would have worked great if Biden had dropped out early and not, really started the race and just said he was going to let Kamala handle it. They could have easily just made it's time for a younger face. A younger, she's not that young, but she looks great for her age. But, someone who at the very least, if I'm not mistaken, could do a whole term and not have her brain deteriorate in that time. At least not likely. That's what I would have pushed. And again, the whole devil's lettuce legalization should have definitely been pushed a little more. I think as well, it might be a good idea, like for the next Democratic politician or Democrat, whatever, the next Democratic nominee, I think is the term I'm looking for. If you want to win against the Republican Party, you need someone who is as charismatic as Trump. And I know, too, a lot of people, myself included, you might think, oh, he's not charismatic. He's not charismatic to you or I, but to his base, he is very charismatic. He is very liked. He is very lovable. They all cherish him. Manuela, I'm sorry. That was just water. I have coffee here, but I'm talking so fast and I'm having so many thoughts going at once that I haven't really touched it. I've just been drinking water and just trying to stay focused, basically. But yeah, you have to, if you want to win, you can't get these celebrity endorsements. And it was just so sad to see. It's like, oh, guys, we got Megan, we got Cardi, we got Eminem, I think Eminem probably truly supported Kamala because I know how much he hates Trump. But again, that still kind of ties into that. It's not just, oh, Kamala's great, that's why we're all voting for her. It's we don't want him there. And all these celebrity endorsements and a lot of news just in general about Kamala coming out all came off very desperate. And especially when I saw the will.i.am, one second, I can't play it, but no. I just no point to showing it, is there? Yeah. So will.i.am had this song called Yes She Can. And another thing, it was just the most generic cookie cutter marketing for a politician ever. Oh, we got this great song by will.i.am. Yes, she can. Yeah. This is going to be a song that unites America and everyone needs to hear. We need to get behind a woman president. And this is a fucking Boondocks skit come to life. It was no one in the room saying this might not be a good idea. Whether this was something paid for by the Harris campaign, whether this was something will.i.am just decided to do of his own volition because of his own views, did he not think at all that recreating the meme from the Boondocks may not be a good idea? It was really dumb. A lot of this was really dumb. And I guess to sort of cap things off, at least as to why the Democrats lost, thank you, Manuela. I hope, because it feels like I'm just ranting at the air right now, and I feel like I'm going everywhere, and I'm repeating myself a lot. But let's get back to point. To sort of cap things off, I think, as to why I think Kamala lost. To start was Biden's terrible, terrible start that she had to try to fix and, clean up the mess of, which was unfair to her, really. Then we had him just doing that. The fact that she lied along with everybody else along with it, making her look untrustworthy. There's all the shit coming out about, the entire reason Trump did this McDonald's little thing here. Oh, yeah, look, I worked at McDonald's, was because she apparently lied about it. I don't know. I don't really care. I think that's a dumb thing to do. It's the, And this marketing, as I keep getting at, was very dumb. This is just very cookie cutter, what we expect from a politician. And Trump may be stupid. He may make stupid promises that he may not be able to deliver on, but at least that's a little more engaging and gets people's attention. And the other thing is, too, as part of the reason I think she lost, is that people just aren't really happy right now. And similar thing with Trump back in 2020. People were not happy, and due to everything going on, we decided we wanted someone different. Maybe we didn't want the angry old man constantly seeming like he's going to start war with somebody. We want to try to go with this soft guy who's a little more gentle. But now he's a little out of commission, and, the Democratic Party try to lie about it, so they look like shit. I'm going in circles. But the final thing I want to cap this off with is just what I think essentially the Democratic Party needs to do if they want to win in the future. You need to stand out. This is a simple marketing thing. You need to do something that makes thousands, hundreds of thousands of people across the country look at them and go, who's that? Who's this person? I want to listen to them. I want to see what they're doing. Because that's just simple marketing. That's one of the quickest ways, just a simple, marketing 101, make yourself stand out. Make yourself different. I do that sometimes with these videos, the rings and stuff. You might have seen in my couple recent videos, or if you see my reel for the new video I'm making, you might have seen these rings I'm making. These rings I have. I think they just look cool, but also it kind of helps me stand out because as you're watching me, you're going to pay attention to the rings. You're going to see them. So we need someone who stands out. You don't have to wear rings. You don't have to have some different look necessarily in some like, oh, I'm super edgy looking like a goth kid or a punk rocker or something, but someone who looks different. Ideally, someone young, someone who at the oldest is like 50, I would say. Maybe 40 you might even seem a little old, but like someone younger. Someone who, if they went through the entire presidential term, a full 8 years or whatever, they would still be in good condition mentally and still look okay at the end of it. That would definitely help. Someone younger looking, a fresher face would definitely stand out against all these old people. Definitely. 100%. Another thing, you got to come with some radical ideas. You got to come with something extreme. And I don't mean violent. I just mean extreme. I mean, like, again, Kamala tried. I'll gotta give credit where it's due. It seemed like she tried. Essentially, sorry, 1 second. Whatever. Kamala tried with the weed legalization. That would be, I fucked up, whatever. With that would be one thing. That definitely should... I would have hoped would have helped a little more, but it is what it is. And I don't know if she would have actually gone through with it because, again, it seemed like desperation. But we need someone who actually wants weed to be legalized on a recreational level. Hell, how about something, again, even more extreme? Decriminalize a lot of drugs, not just devil's lettuce. Because me personally, maybe I'm ignorant, but I think locking people up for drug use is kind of stupid, at least in America, because it's just, I don't think it helps anything. I don't think it actually solves the problem. I think there's usually an underlying issue why someone gets into drugs, and maybe, some of them kind of go through rehab while in prison, but there's a lot of them that come out and instantly get back to it. So, yeah, maybe something of a reform where, hey, we're not trying to lock these people up, we're just more trying to get them help. That could be a big thing. How about making, again, I don't know what this is going to do. Make prostitution legal. Like, most people agree that prostitution at the very least should be legal, whether you think, no matter how you feel about it as a job or whatever your feelings on, if you think it's gross or it's immoral or something. I can't see any reason it shouldn't be a legal job. It is a job as old as the Bible. It's always been around. So why don't we get a president who stands on that, who says, yeah, we're going to legalize the devil's lettuce and we're going to legalize prostitution. Those may not be the smartest idea. I don't fucking know. Like I said, I'm ignorant. But at least that's new. That's definitely interesting. Definitely gets people's attention. It'll definitely stand out. And again, the thing, I can't stress this. Not only do you need new policies, the person has to be likable. They have to be able to be good on stage. They have to be able to put on a good show. Trump is a charismatic figure, and you can't downplay that enough. If you can't have it be, we got to take down this party. You have to have it be, we have to support this nominee because we believe in this guy. He says what we're all thinking, what he gives us hope that we can actually change something. We want to vote for him. You do that, you will have people behind you 100%. Also, this might be a little unpopular, but I'm going to try to find this real quick. And I do think, it could be a woman. I think it could definitely be, a woman president. Again, I think it would be good if it was a fresher face, or again, if even Kamala, just had a little more time. Things could have been a lot better. But I just think that we need a new politician, a new type of politician if you want to go against the Republican Party. If you really think the most evil thing, some of the most interesting and charismatic, you have to have somebody who the people can relate to, they can engage with, and they can feel like truly represents them. And obviously, there's many reasons to argue that Trump does not represent the American people in the slightest, but that doesn't honestly matter much to his base. He may not be a blue-collar worker or something, but if they feel like he is helping them, if they feel like things have been better back then they're going to vote for him when this year comes around or this voting season comes around. But I think also, and again, I might get some stuff for this. Hold on. Right here. Yeah. No, this right here. I think if we had a president who did something like this would 100%. 100%. Like, I think also it would be good to have a president who, if we're going up against someone like Trump, is also willing to get dirty and throw some insults and isn't afraid to say, like, something really mean to him, basically, and throw his own childish insults right back at him. I think we need that. This posh, I think the word is, well-mannered, we have decorum politicians. People don't like that. It's fake. It's artificial. We all know you're not actually like that behind closed doors. And people are sick of it. And I think in general, people are sick of just things being fake, completely. But as I'm pulling this up, this is what I truly think would 100%. If we had a person running for president who did something like this, everyone would vote for him.
Like he's self-made. Sir, I wish he was in the truck with me when I was building my plumbing company. Myself and my wife was running the office because I sure remember working pretty hard and long hours. Pretends like he's self-made. What a clown. Fraud. Always has been, always will be. Quit the tough guy act in these Senate hearings. You know where to find me. Any place, anytime, cowboy. Sir, this is a time, this is a place. If you want to run your mouth, we can be two consenting adults. We can finish it here.
Okay, that's fine. Perfect.
You want to do it now?
I'd love to do it right now.
Well, stand your butt up then.
You stand your butt up.
Oh, hold on.
Big guy.
Oh, stop it.
I'm sorry.
No, sit down.
The moment Bernie gets
you're
into
United
the...
States Senator. Sit
like,
down.
yeah, what the fuck?
Okay, sit down, please.
All right.
Can I respond? Mr.
Hold it. If we
No.
can, no,
This is
I have
what
the
he
mic.
said.
I'm sorry.
This is
Hold
what
it.
he
I know we
You'll
love
have a good
Bernie.
time.
I know he's a
Can I
sweet
respond?
old
No, you
man.
can't.
I know
This
everyone
is
likes
a
him.
hearing.
But no, I'm sorry, Bernie, you're wrong. That's not what we need. I'm not saying we necessarily even need like a president who would, like, we don't need fighting necessarily, but we need a president who, I think it would go well if we had a president who was willing to do that, though. If Trump said an insult to him or something, like maybe made fun of his mother or something like that, made fun of his wife, and he said like, okay, are you willing, you're willing to defend your words, essentially. He's like, all right, fight me. I think that would get a lot more respect from the American people. I'm not saying we should, everything should be resolved with violence, but seeing a president who is not afraid to throw hands, that would 100% get the American people behind it. Not like in a second. Thank you, Pop Culture with Aaron and Rawson. Thank you. I appreciate the $2. But yeah, get a politician. And honestly, I mean, if they would never do this, but I think we should start having a thing where when the countries have to settle some disagreement, we're done doing the whole war thing. Like, if this, person in power wants this to be pushed so badly, get in the ring. I don't think the election should necessarily be decided that way, but as far as like, this country wants to go to war with this country. Okay, well, you have to fight first. You have to fight. You have to get in the ring. And I guess maybe we could figure out from there. But I would prefer it if that's how things were settled now. Okay, you want, this is important to you, get in fight for it. If this is such an important thing, you think the American people need this, or you think this is the law that needs to be passed, or this is how things should be, fight it. Fight about it. I 100% think that that wouldn't necessarily go over perfectly, but I think that's a little more ethical at the very least than, hey, let's send a bunch of people into a country to try and shoot each other. I think it's certainly more ethical to have the leaders fight. I think the leaders should be fighting, personally. Like, at the very least, it should be able to. Like, I remember seeing, during the whole Ukraine thing starting, the pictures of the Ukrainian president. Let me see if I can find it here real quick. Ukrainian uniform. Let's see, can I find that? This. We'll go with this. Okay. Right here. Motherfucker. There we go. Yeah, this. When I saw this, and I was seeing a lot of photos like this, that is the type of president we need. Like, we need someone who, like a badass, like this. Like, he can wear this shit and look like he is meant to wear it. Like, he's been in this before. A president who, if shit went down in America, he wouldn't be, necessarily hiding somewhere. He would be wanting to fight back. I could understand some reasons why we may not want the president fighting back and we might want to get him to safety, but at least a president who's willing to do something like that would go amazingly well. So yeah, I think I made my point. If anyone has any questions, any feeling of like, oh, well, here's where you're wrong or whatever, again, feel free to make a response. I don't know shit about politics. I really don't. I'm just speaking from a very ignorant motherfucker's perspective, because I feel like that's the type of people you have to appeal to if you really want to get the most votes. It's not a matter of, whether even Trump followers are ignorant. That's not what I'm saying. It's just, if you want your ideals, your ideas, your views, values, whatever changes you're trying to make to the country, you want people on your side with that, you got to be really good at marketing yourself. You got to be really good at pushing yourself. You got to be... One second. I'll get to this in a second. Again, thank you, Aaron and Rawson. I don't really have a favorite president. That's the thing. I'm not really into politics, is kind of what I'm getting at here. That's why you haven't really seen a whole lot of stuff like this before this, because I'm a voice actor. What the fuck does my political opinion matter? What the fuck does it mean? It's stupid to me to even talk about this, but it's just a thing where when it happens again, when we got this dumb motherfucker in the office again, I'm kind of annoyed, especially when I voted for who I was told I should vote for. I pretty much voted Democrat all the way. I think the only thing I did, and I could be wrong, maybe I completely just said fuck it and didn't even really care about that. I know I answered yes for question 1 or whatever made sure women could still have abortions. That's what I voted for. And I think the other thing was limiting terms for politicians or something, or people in boards of education and stuff like that. I think terms should definitely be limited to 2. Maybe I could be wrong. Again, it was very like, oh, okay, I just learned about this. Sure. I didn't think it would really make a difference. Again, I only came there to vote for Kamala, but I had a good feeling Trump was going to win, because I could just tell, again, by the marketing that Trump was clearly doing better. And I'm just annoyed because I don't like him. I don't like that he's president. I think he's a fucking buffoon. But unfortunately, we also had a buffoon before him. We just kind of kept switching between other ones. And again, I get annoyed because of all the coping after. All the people on Twitter coping because their team lost. So, immediately now, we're doing a recount. There's stuff that seems like it was lost. We think they stole the election. They cheated. All the same shit that Republicans were doing like 4 years ago, the Democratic Party's doing. And it's the same thing that happened during 2016. And a similar thing happened during 2020. It was the same fucking thing. Both parties are absolutely identical. Hold on, let me see if I can find this real quick. We're not on my thing, which is good, because fuck no, we do not need all my shit on here. I will get taken down. Okay, right here. This sums up both political parties in general. Right here. right here. If my candidate loses, it will be the end of democracy. It's just each one makes the other one out to be the most evil thing on planet Earth, and maybe one has more reasons than the other. But, it's not even just this being the parallel, but the instant reaction being so much the same. When the 2016 election happened, Democrats kept claiming, oh, Trump stole it. It had to be hackers. There was all this stuff going on. And then 2020 came around, Biden won, and then the Republicans were saying he stole it, and there was ballots being thrown out, and they say that there's some reason to suspect that that's true. And there's on both sides the coping, the blaming, the pointing fingers instead of it's just something that really irritates me. And I'm not trying to harp on this, but I just can't stand it when people can't take accountability. Like, I'm not here to argue whether like racism played a factor in the election. I'm sure it did. I'm not here to argue whether the disliking of women or homophobia or transphobia played a factor or whatever. I'm sure it did. But you can't go through an election, fail, and then just sit there and blame everyone else and say how it was everyone else's fault and you didn't do anything wrong and there was nothing that could have been done better. And again, it's not necessarily saying Kamala was at fault, but I'm saying the Democratic Party as a whole was at fault, and the Democrats in general were at fault. It's okay to agree that those things played a factor, but don't sit there and pretend like there wasn't anything you could do differently. I think this honestly irritates me, being completely honest, completely transparent, because it reminds me of my ex, who I'm still healing from, where it's just like it's like a toxic ex that both political parties, Democrat and Republicans, are the toxic ex that you leave. And then instead of, them maybe thinking, oh, maybe there was some things I did that could have prevented this, maybe there was a reason this person left, and maybe I shouldn't have talked to this person like this or done nothing where they can basically say it's my fault. It's completely the other person's fault. It's not that the marketing could have been better for the campaign. It's not that Kamala was given, what's the word I'm looking for? Not a shit job. She was given a terrible start. Like she essentially had to start the race way later than everyone else. So it's not that, again, it's not that I think she couldn't have won. It's just I feel like there are other factors that played into this other than what's being mentioned, and I just get irritated seeing all that stuff you mentioned. Oh, there had to be some cheating going on. Oh, it had to be this, it had to be that, instead of, okay, maybe if we really want people to get out and vote, we have to have a charismatic figure. We have to have someone who's entertaining, who's interesting, who gets people's attention. You don't even have to look at politicians to really understand how important that is. But give me 1 second. I'm gonna pull up a picture here. This is not a good picture. This is not a picture of a good person. Let me be clear. But I just want you to understand the power of a charismatic figure, what they can do. And this is, let me find this image here real quick. Okay, this will do, because we can really have any of these. It'll be just fine. Motherfucker. There we go. Okay. So some in the audience may be really, really young, and they may not know who this is. This is Jim Jones. He was a priest, a pastor for a church called the People's Temple in the 1960s, if I remember correctly. Anyone can correct me if they want. This man was liked by a lot of people. There are a factor of reasons that go into that. But one of the main things was he was very charismatic. He was charismatic because he preached the values that a lot of people, like the better values. Now people say, oh, Trump taps into all the evil parts of humans and all the hate and anger and all that stuff. Jim Jones tapped into the good nature of humans. He preached racial equality, and he preached social justice in general. And his values that he was teaching in his church was about helping each other and treating each other as a family, and basically telling them that, like, hey, we can do great things. We can make this world the heaven we want to be. We can go somewhere and have our own heaven, which is really his goal. Or we can, we can change the world, essentially. Well, I'll try to cap this off quick, and we'll go into how this went wrong. But he preached good values. And one of the things, I actually have a book I need to finish about his life, was that one of the things he did that got a lot of people to support him was, like, grand gesture can go a long way. And again, at the time when this happened, him being sort of seen as a civil rights figure, I think he was in a mental asylum, if I remember correctly, and he would make the beds of all the black patients, basically. All patients of color there, he would make the beds for. And he said, because you are already going through a lot. You already have a lot to deal with. Let me help you. Let me make your life easier. And you can have, that might seem a little weird these days, but that time especially, yeah, that shows a tremendous amount of progressive values for that time. He ended up he went from having a church, and some of you might even, probably might even see in the little corner there where this is heading to. He had this massive church that ended up getting up to, I think max went to like 900 people. Not immediately, but that was like at the peak of his following, he had 900 people. And I want something else known too. He would influence politicians. He would influence, not only did he get politicians as his followers, but if there was a certain group that, wanted a politician who really needed help in his area trying to get support, Jim Jones would come to them and say, hey, you need support. I can tell my people, and you'll get tons of people out here instantly. And it'll look like you have this huge following that's just been supporting you the whole time. And then that is going to get you that huge following. He was so charismatic and so loved by his people that he could get them to support whatever political figure he wanted. Now, another factor to take in with Jim Jones, in the instance of transparency, is that Jim Jones also made his followers believe he had magic powers. There's like a bunch of shit where he basically would hire someone to be part of some ploy or some trick, and he would he would say he took the cancer out of someone's head, and he had or a tumor out of someone's head, and he would hold this ball in his hands or whatever. And, people would think he had magic powers. They think he could do anything. And then on top of that, he's preaching these great values that everyone agrees with and wants to see this change in the world. He got a lot of people behind him. And Trump, isn't doing any magical shit, but he's got a lot of people. His followers believe in him to that degree, and they do feel like he can make the changes they want. And similarly, Jim Jones' followers did. Now, Jim Jones' followers, unfortunately, Jim Jones was not a good person. I don't know if Trump is this level of evil. If you don't like Trump, then I have good news for you, because if he is this level of evil, this cults are kind of a problem that tend to solve themselves, honestly, tragically. But yeah, so again, for those of you who don't know, Jim Jones, at the peak of his fame, his congregation had about 900 people. And he ended up taking them, I don't know if I can show that, so we're not going to. He ended up taking them to Ghana, I believe. And I can't remember exactly where it is. But he took them to sort of a remote area, a remote part of the world, and had them very separate off from the rest of society, which is a thing, narcissists, abusers, and cult leaders will do. We're going to try to cut you off from the rest of society so this becomes more of the norm. I'm going on a tangent. The point is, Jim Jones was so powerful, so charismatic, had so many devout followers that when he told them that, hey, we're all going to get in trouble. Because I'm in trouble, we're all going to get in trouble. So we all need to take this Kool-Aid that's going to, sorry, not Kool-Aid, Flavor Aid that's going to unalive us. 900 people did it. That is the power of a charismatic figure. And another example, I think I'm spelling this right. Right, yeah, David Koresh. Another cult leader type. Now there's, a lot of stuff going on about, or talk about David Koresh, not like right now, but there's been a lot of talk, and when you ever do research into this stuff, sometimes David Koresh is what's primarily talked about. Sometimes what else is talked about is what's just called Waco, essentially the place where Koresh and his followers stayed. Well, he was a cult figure that allegedly was able to get his followers to do terrible things. But what made him liked more by his following, and what made a lot of people empathize or sympathize with him and the followers in general, was the government's complete fuck up of this case that ended up with a lot of innocent people getting hurt, just kind of looking like jackasses and looking incompetent because government or soldiers, law enforcement, whatever, apparently were mooning the people in the what's the word I'm looking for? There's a word. It's like every cult leader use it. Congregation or something like that. Not congregation. It's something like that. It's something to that effect. But essentially, he had all these people. He got them behind him because he was very charismatic. He could make the Bible come to life, is how people explained it. He made the Bible very interesting to them. And as a result, he could get them to do whatever he wanted. And, when the government came in to raid for, allegations against him and stuff, the way they handled it just kind of made David Koresh seem more like the good guy to his followers, as well as regardless of whether he was the bad guy or not, the government just looked terrible. My point being that especially if you're going up against a charismatic figure like Trump to his base, you have to have someone equally charismatic. You really want someone who is more charismatic. Someone, again, who can kind of step up what Trump was doing. Or that's what I'm looking for. I think it's the best one I'm going to give for now. But yeah, I think my point is made. I was going to do a little thing where we could maybe react to some of the Trump, like the angry people on Twitter. There's one I'm going to show here real quick because it just makes me laugh. I'm sorry. This is just again, I don't care one way or another about what politician wins, but when I see shit like this, I can't help but laugh. If I can find it, please tell me I can find it. I can. All right. I can't help but laugh when I see something like this. Let me mute my audio output capture for a second. Okay. Second. There we go. There we go. Okay, that's good. Let me find you guys here because I hate how the chat goes away. Thank you. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I feel like I've just been a rambling madman. So, yeah, we're gonna watch this one little clip here because it doesn't really matter to me who wins. The seething on both ends is always funny. So we're gonna laugh at this one clip because the level of anger is just insane. I'm not saying she doesn't have a right to be upset or anything even. It's just you can't make videos like this and not look ridiculous. It doesn't matter if you have completely valid reasons to freak out, honestly. Point blank, this just never looks good. But we're going to play this real quick.
I'm sorry. No! Why? Why? Do you really hate me that bad?
Fuck. shit. Oh, it's the spit, I think. It's the fucking spit. Something about that just makes me fucking laugh. It's just fucking right in my face, bro. And again, there's, reason to be upset, but when you're throwing a tantrum in the car, you just automatically look bad. I'm not saying you wanted to get your anger out, fine. Probably was not a good idea to film this, though. Maybe we'll find in the future you were right. I've heard some people say that the person who freaked out, one of the very famous clips from 2016 of a girl literally being like, no, while shouting in the air. You know what I'm talking about. I'm not pulling it up. People said, oh, well, that was the appropriate reaction, actually. And to some extent, that's a fair argument. But it still looks ridiculous. It doesn't matter how many times. It doesn't matter how good the argument is. It just looks stupid. Throwing a tantrum is not going to do anything. But yeah, that's going to be the end of the stream. I got shit I got to do. I got editing I got to do. Maybe we'll do more stuff. I really don't want to keep talking about politics, to be dead honest with you. Maybe we'll laugh at some of this stuff again on the next stream. But for now, that's the end of my stream. I hope I made my point. If anyone has any retorts, if anyone feels like I'm wrong and wants to go into great detail as to why, or make a response, take my thing, react to it, educate me. It's fine. I'm willing to admit that I'm very ignorant here, and there could be a lot of stuff I need to learn. But I also, again, think that you need to appeal to very ignorant people and you need to be very good at marketing yourself if you want to win these elections. I think this kind of puts a damper on like conspiracy theories to me. Not like any conspiracy theories aren't real, but just like, okay, there's secret societies running things. Well, why did they do this again? Like, wouldn't people have just been happier if Biden was in office? Or not Biden, or Kamala? Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm in the wrong camp or something. I don't know. The point being, it's hard for me not to feel like, regardless of how you feel about Trump, that essentially the people spoke here. In both cases, in the case with Biden and in the case with Trump, the people spoke and they decided this is what they want right now, and you can have your issues with it, and that's fine. And you can sit there and say, well, it's because people don't want a woman president. It's because people don't want a person of color, a woman of color as president, and all these things, or they don't like her values. They're pro-life or whatever. And you can have all those reasons, and those, I'm not saying those are invalid reasons, but what I am saying is that you're going to have to shut the fuck up and get good at marketing yourself and focus not on how to beat that opponent, that candidate, but rather how to win, how to, be a good politician that the people want to vote for if you want to stay in power, basically. So yeah. Thank you, Rife. I appreciate you. And thank you, Pop Culture with Aaron. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Glad I seemed like I was doing okay. I will do more streams like this in the future. Not like this, but I just more stuff focused on the content I normally want to make. Maybe I'll talk more about this if I feel like it. But I do kind of want to still focus on my work. So hope you guys had a good time. Hope this is a good day. Thank you for everyone who joined. Thank you, Pop Culture with Aaron and Rawson, for the super chats. Very appreciated. I hope you guys had a good time. I ignored a lot of emails and a lot of messages while I was doing this. Got a lot of messages while I was doing this. I was concerned. I was like, shit, am I doing something? But yeah, all right. Y'all have a good day. Y'all have a good night. I got shit I got to do. Peace out.